happening right about now.
Party people in the place to be. It's the Felix Sama Podcast. And I have the pleasure of having an extraordinary dude with me. I mean, Latif has spent over 30 years in the business. He started with Lil Suzy when she was a child. He went on to work with opening acts, not only a booking agent, but he's a songwriter, a road manager, an industry strategist. He helped revitalize Angel OCG's career, created S.A.L, touring concept with Suzy, Angel, and Lisette Melendez, and continues to represent some of the most recognizable names in freestyle and classic dance music. He's also the creator and publisher of the Freestyle Blast newsletter, where he talks about the culture, the history, the business, and the future of freestyle. Is there really a future for freestyle? We gonna get into that. Say what's up to my dog, Latif in the building. What's going on, man?
What's up?
How you feel,
Good.
baby?
I got that whole bio, man. You notice it doesn't say DJ, right? I do everything, but I'm not a DJ.
And thank God for that, because there's not enough work to go around. Hey, man, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about everything, but I do want to, when I read your latest newsletter, you got into something about the white label era, and I do remember the white label era, but it wasn't only in freestyle, though. No. That happened in dance music, it happened in hip-hop, and it even happened in reggae. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about some new music. We'll talk about branding, VIP offers, venue strategies, because this is about the business of music, okay? That's a lot of my podcast show has to deal with that, because let's face it, a lot of artists, a lot of DJs, a lot of producers aren't making the type of revenue streams, aren't making the type of revenue that they should be making, and they don't have enough streams coming in to survive. A lot of them have to get a full-time job and do it part-time in order to keep it moving.
Oh, yes.
You know, and it's sad but true, and that's just the nature of where we're at with the music business when it comes to throwback artists, and probably new artists as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So take me back to the beginning, before the business, before the bookings, before the managing of artists. What was your first real connection to freestyle music?
Freestyle, well, music in general, man, is, you know, I came up wanting to be a singer. I wanted to be a singer, man. I was a huge fan, you know, with being Latino in the Bronx, you know, we had two influences, right? We had the Jackson 5 and we had the Osmonds, right?
Yeah.
We had the black folks, we had the white folks.
Did you see the movie yet?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
What'd you think?
Oh, for Michael. Oh,
yeah.
I loved it. I liked it. Yeah.
You liked it or you loved it? You said two things.
No. I did. I loved it. I think I'm glad his nephew did it. I think it kept it in the family.
Okay.
You know, listen, there's a big story behind Michael, and there's a lot of angles. It depends on what you want to hear. I don't want to hear the negative. I really don't want to hear that. I was a fan. I was always a fan.
I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. Yeah.
9 is good. 9 is good. You know, unless Michael's in it, it can't be a 10 unless he's in it. But I get you.
Right.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I took the whole family when we went to see it. So the kids got into it.
I digress. Go ahead.
But that was you know, growing up in the Bronx, you know, wanting to be a singer, being, you know, fascinated, you know, by these artists, going to the record store and the 45s, you know, coming back.
What type of artist did you want to be, bro? Did you want to be a rapper? What did you want to be?
Yeah, so I loved the Jackson 5.
So you wanted to be a Latino Jackson 5?
Yeah, but I didn't think Latino. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. I really didn't I didn't pick and choose. That's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? As far as I was concerned, we were the same. But I looked at the Osmonds too. I didn't think, it was the white people. I didn't, not at that age. I loved what they were doing. I just loved it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So you know, family used to come over. And I used to love to sing. Please don't ask me to do that, but I used to love to sing. My mom used to come, she'd put a record on. I used to perform for the entire family. And I was actually known in my family as that, you know, so no matter where I went, they say, hey, man, come on, sing this song. They'll put like Ben on, or they'll put Jackson 5 song, or they'll put Puppy Love on, and I would throw down. And that was as far back. So I left the Bronx when I was about 9, moved to Queens. So this is happening in the Bronx. So I'm talking about, you know, 6, 7 years old, as far back as I could remember, you know, and then coming in. And then when the rap thing came in, it was almost like natural progression for me. I started to write raps and I started to rap. And now it was a new thing I was entertaining. Now I'm a kid coming from the Bronx, I had this big old afro, right? Puerto Rican kid, and I moved to Queens, Jackson Heights, Queens. There's not even other Puerto Ricans there. What we got there is Cubans. It wasn't no Mexicans were there yet. So it's basically Colombians, Cubans, Peruvians, Ecuadorians, and Cubans. Okay? So now here I am, right? So I'm getting all these other influences that they're not familiar with. So I was, again, the new kid in town who I stood out because of my interest of what I did.
Yeah.
And I continued with that, and until I ended up getting a job when I finished school, and I ended up getting a job at 520 Madison Avenue in Manhattan. I was working maintenance. Okay. I finished school. I got this job that was hooked up. Great job, union job. I was set. And I worked as a maintenance guy. By that time I was making good money. So I started building myself my own little studio in my apartment, my mother's apartment, right? So all this, I used to go to 48th Street, Manhattan. I would go into Manny's or Sam Ash, and I would buy every week. I was buying something new, and I had bought this the RX-15 Yamaha drum machine, right? Mm-hmm. Real sleek, black with the black buttons. It was dope, and I used to put it in an attaché case, and I was able to fit headphones in there and wires. And when I worked at 520 Madison Avenue, one of the jobs that they gave me on a regular was running the freight elevator. Now, it was a 43-story building. So I was all the way in the back of the building. Yeah. I only serviced the workers. And I used to sit in that elevator. It had an outlet, plug in my drum machine, my headphones, and I used to make beats.
Tapping beats,
on the elevator. So the engineers and the other porters used to come in and be like, yo, what are you doing? I used to let them hear. And they were like, oh, wow, what's that? And I used to do, that's dope. One of the engineers was even a drummer. So every time he got on, he goes, yo, let me hear what you did. So I used to really do these really dope beats. And then one day, one of them said, you gotta meet Tony Casal. I'm like, who's that? They say he has a daughter who sings. So I'm thinking, these guys are all older. I'm in my teens still. I'm like 19, 8. So I'm thinking Tony Casal, he has a daughter that sings. So I'm thinking maybe there's one of the older gentlemen that worked there, right? Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe he got an older daughter. Daughter's probably even older than me, right? And this is what I'm thinking. I paid it no mind until one day I'm on another freight, because that building had 2 freight elevators. I was on another one that led to the loading dock. And Tony Casal comes up to me. He goes, hey, so you're the kid that does the beats in the elevator? I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, can I hear what you do? So I took out my Walkman and I let him borrow my Walkman, and he's listening, he's getting into it. I used to rap at that time, right? So I was doing beats, but I was rapping, recording in my house. He said, can I hold this for a second? I'm like, okay. I'm in the elevator. I think he's just gonna go to the loading dock. This dude disappeared like the whole day. So I'm pretty new to the job. So I'm thinking, yo, I didn't think he stole from me, but I'm kind of pissed off. He took my music, right? So finally I see him a couple hours later, and I'm a little heated, but he says, hey, I love what you're doing. He goes, let me show you something. We were standing right by, there was 2 locker rooms, ours for the porters and the engineers. He was an engineer, I was a porter. He brings me into his locker room. He opens up his locker, and I see all these newspaper clippings of this little girl singing. It says, A Star Is Born in Brooklyn, Lil Suzy, It's My Party. I'm like, this girl at that time, 3 years old. Those pictures were all 3, 4 years old. So he says, in fact, and so I'm like, what? So now I'm like, so you're the guy everybody was telling me about. So he says, yeah, so we got to know each other. And then he invites me to her 5th birthday party. Her 5th birthday party was at Studio 54, and it was hosted by the Village People. Wow. Okay? So he invites me there. I went all by myself. I didn't know anybody there. I went in there. I remember it being dark. I remember them letting me backstage, and I remember seeing her come out to perform. Now, I'm here thinking she's going to sing B-I-N-G-O or something. I didn't know what I was going to see. She went up there and she performed. The Village People introduced her. She went up there and she performed, and she started doing these covers, and she was doing, talking about 4, she's just turning 5. She's singing Like a Virgin. She's singing What's Love Got to Do with It, Tina Turner. Wow, cool. And then finally she sings another Madonna song called Love Don't Live Here Anymore.
I know that song. I know that's a ballad of hers, yeah.
Ballad. And she killed it to the point where I'm watching people in the front and one girl's crying because she's ripping it. And at that point I'm like, wow, I'm like, this was weird. Like, here's a connection that I have to possibly do, fulfill my dream. I have somebody that's basically in the business, because she didn't have a label yet. She was a novelty act, Yeah. So I said, okay, I have a connection, but wait a minute, she doesn't even have a label. Like, I didn't know where I stood. you know? And then in time, he asked me, he came to me, he says, hey, you think you could write something for her? He goes, I want you to write a rap. And I started trying to write a rap and I couldn't do it.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow. The music misses the crowd. The lighting feels way flat. The promotion is weak. The room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room. We identify the right audience. We build stronger theme nights. We bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer. They spend more. They come back, and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
So instead, I ended up writing a song called Children of the World, which became on her years later, it was on her first album. It was the first track. Yeah. And that was the first song. It was also on Star Search. And that was my introduction into the business. That's how I kind of got into it. I came in as a rap, and I used to open up for her. I used to be the opening act. So I used to have a little rap that I used to say, introduce her on stage.
Yeah. Those are memories that you'll never forget, right? You know, we all have those moments in our lives that, you know, either a star was born or something clicked inside of you that you knew you were on the right path to your, not only your passion, but hopefully making money too. Yeah. But, you know, for me, you know, it was, you know, growing up and learning how to first beat match, you know what I'm saying? And back then, you know, even before the beat match, and we were pausing, you know, cassette decks and waiting for the next song to come in and then unpausing it. You know what I mean? And doing it like that, and then learning, you know, getting the first turntable and having a tape deck, and then getting the second turntable. It was like, whoa, now we got two turntables. It's a problem. You know what I mean? So, you know, you never forget about those growing up struggles that you had.
It's crazy. It's how those dots connected. Like, you know, I look at that stuff and I was like, wow, had I not done this would not have happened.
Yeah.
If I not gotten a job in this place, this would not have happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a lot about your personality and your culture also that infuses what you did musically. Because I remember, for instance, like I grew up in North Miami. I graduated from North Miami Senior High down here in Miami. And, you know, a lot of my friends were from New York. I was from Chicago. So, you know, we would kind of click together. And, you know, I had Puerto Rican friends. I had Dominican friends, and I'm Cuban. So I would be like, yo, my mom, when it comes to Latin food, hands down, she wipes the floor with any mom. And we would battle on that, right? And we'd be like, okay, I'm going over your mom's house. I'm going to taste your mom's food and see how good it is. And we would compare, right? And not to say, and not to blow things out the water, but my mom's croquetas. Yeah. Nobody's touching that. And they, hands down, everybody was like, yo, you got to give it up for Mama Sama. Her croquetas are the shit. The shrimp? She had the shrimp? She was doing the shrimp?
No, croquetas. You know what a croqueta is? Yeah. Yeah, that has chicken in it. The croquetas have chicken in it.
I see the one that had the shrimp. You know, had the one that they put the shrimp in it.
No. We don't make it like that. We make it with pollo, or we make it with carne, the croquetas. Yeah. And bro, you taste my mom's croqueta, boy, you will be coming back for more.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
But you know, you talked a little bit on your last newsletter, you talked a little bit about the name Freestyle, because me and Trinier also got into that conversation, and we were like, she was under, she's under the impression, not that she's wrong or right, but she said that Pretty Tony, one of her producers from back in the day, had a group called Freestyle, which you manage as well.
I represent them, yeah.
And she says she feels that that's where the name was born. Right. From the group Freestyle. And I think there's some truth to that as well.
I do too. You know, like it's hard to really pinpoint where it came and what influenced it. So I never argue that. And of course, I talk to LB all the time and he'll tell you the same thing. Yeah, that came from us. And I don't argue with him because he might be right. The only thing is I didn't grow up around I wasn't in Miami, I was in New York. Yeah. So when Freestyle evolved, he wasn't in the picture, right? So we only knew it from where. The first time I ever connected Freestyle to the genre, believe it or not, I don't know how it came about. It was during Dream Boy, Dream Girl, Cynthia and Johnny O. That's when the name showed itself to me. It wasn't before that. It wasn't before that, Yeah. But you realize, you've seen, you've done interviews with me before, but I was incarcerated. So I went away during a very critical time when Freestyle was evolving, when it was coming about.
What year was it?
I was taken out of the picture and I was sent away, right?
Yeah, what year was it?
That was 80. I went away 86 and I came out.
Yeah, that was a pivotal time for
Freestyle.
I
came out in 90, beginning of 90.
Yeah,
right?
You lost 4 years, yep.
Yeah, and I lost, and it's so funny because Suzy's first release came out while I was in. I used to hang out with Sapphire's uncle. He was real close to me. We lived in the same neighborhood. He used to talk about Sapphire all the time. I used to talk about Suzy. Neither one was out, like with records. When I went away, they both went out. And I was watching all these videos from the day room. In fact, the first time I ever laid eyes on my wife was sitting in the day rooms with a bunch of inmates. That's the first time I ever seen her, and that was the Show Me video. And I remember, I always thought she was cute. I said,
Obviously, you went on to marry her.
Had I known years later, no, I didn't know. But, it's just so ironic because during that time, if you follow the Cover Girls, they were at the top of the top. Yeah. Angel was having birthday parties on the top of the Capitol Records building. She had her pictures up on Times Square in the billboard. And I had my picture in the newspaper. I was a mugshot. So how crazy is that, right? So she's up here, I'm here, and somehow, some way, we met in the middle.
Destiny, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that our businesses, our jobs complement each other. She's an artist, I'm an agent. You know what I mean? Yeah. So her career helps mine helps hers,
Yeah.
So it was just really, again, connecting the dots.
Yeah, but that was a good observation that you did about the white label syndrome, right? When there was a point in time where radio was already shying away from freestyle. They weren't programming it anymore. So freestyle was living in the clubs and it had his fan base. And it was basically a niche genre. And then the record labels like Micmac, I remember getting test presses from Micmac. Record labels like Micmac were doing test press, but I just thought it was a test press because I was still playing. You
didn't know there was a motive behind it.
Yeah, I was still playing it in the mix shows, but later because I was on Power 96 from 1990 to 2002. Oh, wow. So, even in the programming, they were like, yo, we're going to start kind of tapering off a little bit of freestyle, so don't play. But they didn't stop us from playing it entirely. We could still play it in the mix shows. It just wasn't added as a new record anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You understand? So that whole white label thing was true. Yeah. Now, as far as DJs like throwing away white labels, I never like really hung out with DJs that did that, but you obviously observed it.
I wrote about it. I wrote about it because it stood. And remember, I worked at Metropolitan Records, so I used to make those white labels too.
Yeah.
And sometimes they used to tell me, they used to give me a stamp. They used to say test. And they wanted to stamp. And then later on, when we got into the computers, they said, can you create a font that looks like a stamp? And I said, yeah, there's one called stencil. And I used to have to put it, they said, yeah, don't make it straight, make it crooked, and then lighten that. So I used to have to do all that stuff, Yeah. But it was like years later that, even though we were creating that, I didn't know the motive. I just thought, again, it was a test, right? Yeah. And then I realized, and I don't remember where I remember it from, but I remember being in a DJ booth with a DJ, and this is not the first time, but this one in particular, I think it was either Jersey or Philly, and I was cool with the DJ. I remember sitting there and seeing him take a stack of records, right? Now, maybe he played them during the day. I don't know. I came in later on. We were doing I was with Suzy, and I see him take it like he's making room, and just nonchalant, he takes them, he tosses them into this big plastic barrel.
I would have never done that because you don't know what's there, right?
I think he might have listened to them.
If he listened to them, that's the only thing that makes sense for me. Yeah. Because I remember when that whole white label thing started, that it gave me the idea to, because, DJs are always peeping what you're playing and all of that. It gave me the idea to literally take a black magic marker and magic marker a song that I got early that I didn't want anybody playing, and then I would write on it with a liquid white, the
white
what do you
out?
call that? The white out. I would write "Step Off" on the.
Let's go, let's go!
I'm DJ Sama, a legendary South Florida DJ producer and feel-good specialist. From South Beach to Coconut Grove to Fort Lauderdale, I've played at the biggest venues, worked with major artists, and built unforgettable nights for years. Now, I'm bringing that experience to venues that need to turn things around quickly. This is Pack the Place.
Let's go, let's go! Back the place, back the place, back the place, back the place. Feel bass in your face. Back the place, back the place. Lights up, whole room shake. Hands up, no space. Back the place, back the place. Let's go, let's go! Let's go.
I got a high school buddy of mine. His name is Julio, and he happens to own this spot called Cafe 27. It's right off of Sheridan and US Highway 27. And, he's been talking to me about possibly doing a night there. Maybe like a once a month old school night.
They're cooked all right.
How do you turn a biker bar into a freestyle destination? Then I came back on Friday night, and man, it was quiet. I'm talking crickets. The room was empty. The system looked real rough. This spot needs a full transformation.
Meeting the famous Felix Sama. I can't wait to have this party. Freestyle Friday at Cafe 27.
You know what? I'm super confident in your abilities. I know you're confident in my abilities. What do I always tell you whenever we go into a venue? All you got to do is bring me the people, and they're going to be repeat customers.
Absolutely.
All the time. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not working now. And once that music started knocking, you could feel the shift. The energy changed. Needless to say, the booty shakers were in the place. At the start, I felt a little pressure. Anytime you build something from the ground up, you feel that. You want the people to show up. You want the concept to connect. You want the room to catch fire.
I'm turning 57, I'm having so much fun. I came from Orlando to enjoy DJ Sama.
What used to be a dead Friday with 4 people turned out into over 500 people in the building. That was not luck, that was strategy, that was vision, that was execution. I'm DJ Sama, and when I step into your venue, I'm not there to play small. I'm there to read the room, fix the weak spots, build the right vibe, and pack the place.
Back the place, back the place, back the place, back the place. Feel bass in your face. Back the place, back the place.
Oh shit!
On the label, so that when a DJ would look at the 12-inch, they'd be like, "Is that record called Step Off?" I go, "No, I'm asking you to step off."
Step off. Yeah, I don't know if they. So what I learned later on is that, especially in those particular clubs, now we're talking about New Jersey, very high dense freestyle clubs. It was either that or the progressive house. That's what they were playing there, right?
Yeah.
So they, after a while, if they're getting enough of these 12 inches and it's the same thing, and they're trying to break away. Because at that time, freestyle started getting this little corny thing. It started becoming corny. Like, if you liked it or you was down with it anyway, it was corny and you was corny, right? And the DJs didn't want that. And at that time, the progressive house, because I work at Metropolitan, we actually started a label called Metropolitan Underground. We were doing all progressive stuff. You remember that, right? Yeah. So I was there with Denny Chettles, him and I, we worked on that. He put it together and we used to work that, right? And that was getting very popular. And at that point, man, the freestyle stuff, it was like the label just wanted me to kind of like rehash the stuff that was already there. They didn't want to do anything new. As far as they're concerned, it wasn't doing anything. you know?
Yeah.
DJs in those Philly, now maybe not anywhere else, but in those Philly, those clubs, they were getting so much of this stuff, especially since Metropolitan was in Jersey, right? So they were probably getting more than I even know. That, you know, after a while you play it freestyle enough. I can pretty much bet you this is a freestyle. Yeah, well, I tell you, after a while you don't want to go through that. It's almost like back in the days when we used to get demos, right? When I used to get the CDs and cassettes in the mail. I'll tell you honestly, I'm sorry to everybody who sent them to me, but there's a lot of them that I didn't listen to.
Because there's a lot of garbage there, you know what I mean? I used to be a Billboard reporter. I was a Billboard reporter, so I would get everything.
There you go, see?
Yeah.
And after a while, you don't have the time because you're like,
you just
all
don't.
Right,
yeah.
It's not even like, I might get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I just listened to 15 of them and they all crap. So, you know, the next 16, 17, 18 is going to go in the garbage also.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the new wave of freestyle artists. You're first of all, you're not booking or you're not managing any of them. You're not even paying. Wait. I did see Deneen, right?
Deneen's not new though.
How long has she been out?
About 20, 30 years.
Yeah. I don't really remember playing anything. Maybe I wasn't playing freestyle at the time.
He was on Metropolitan Tasmania, right? So I went on tour with her. So back in the days, like early
I remember her name. But anyway, getting to the point of the new, I don't want to get sidetracked there. New freestyle artists. You're not really.
Wait. The new one that I have is Sharon Masirin.
Okay, so you are representing a new freestyle artist.
Yeah. So Sharon's been around for a while, but nobody knew her.
Okay.
Put out this really dope stuff, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So she has to be considered new. She had a song way back in the days under S Factor, and then she went in under her own name. And she's a hustler, and I put her on. And right now, I think she currently has like 9 shows with me. So she works in a lot of the Bay Area. Yeah, and pretty respectable fee too. So she's not going out there for peanuts, you know? Yeah. But I do help a lot of other artists. So when people call me and they want an artist, I don't get directly involved, but I do make the connection with no strings attached.
Got you. So what's your final thought on new freestyle artists? Do you think that they should stay away from trying to release music under the genre freestyle? They should call it like this. When me and Trinier were talking about it, she's like, call it anything else but freestyle. Call it pop dance. Call it pop house. You know, call it whatever you want. Add dance to it. You're gonna be better off adding dance to it. Don't even coin it as freestyle. What is your take on it?
I totally disagree with that, right? So let me ask you something, right? You see the concerts that we got going on, right?
Yeah, of course.
We got a big one this weekend, right?
I got a big concert coming up August 28th.
What's it called?
It's not my concert, but we've got Jody Watley, we've got Expose, 69 Boys, Sapphire. You know what I mean? We've got
what's the name of that concert?
It's called the Ultimate Dance and Freestyle Experience at the Hard Rock.
So you got the word freestyle in there for a reason. Right. So you have the word freestyle in there. This weekend, they were doing a huge show at the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. They'll probably pull in about 13,000 people. Okay?
Well, what's California is big for freestyle. Yeah.
It's called the Freestyle Festival. We just did Vegas, right? A couple weeks ago. House, right? What's it called? The Freestyle Explosion, right? If the genre doesn't have any kind of weight to it, if the name doesn't have any, people wouldn't name it freestyle. There's a reason.
But we're not talking. We know. Listen, I live off of freestyle, right?
So
I've got a big freestyle following, you know, that follows me, and we do 500-700 freestyle party animals every first Friday of the month, every third Friday of the month, every second Friday. So we know that the culture's still alive. That's not the question. The question is, when it comes to releasing new music, should it still be labeled freestyle? That's the question.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. Why are you going to categorize something and not know where to put it? So you call it the ultimate, call it dance or whatever. Where are you putting it? Who you giving it to? Who's, you know what I mean? I know all the freestyle message boards, all the freestyle groups, all the freestyle DJs. I know we can do a freestyle record and send it to those people. We're going to send it if it's a dance record. Who's going to play it? Who am I sending this to? Todd Terry?
If you don't have the connections with the new dance DJs and producers, you have to establish those connections and build a new pipeline. That's the only way. Because I produce new music all the time and I promote it outside of, what I'm doing with freestyle. That's, the other Felix Sama project. Just like Todd Terry, he's got his new house stuff, Little Louis Vega. They were once freestyle producers back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And they evolved.
And they
evolved.
Tried to make a comeback. Yeah. Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with evolving. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, 35 years, we're doing this 35 years. We're doing some of the biggest house rooms in the country from coast to coast. Think about it. We're doing your neighborhood and we're doing LA. We just came from Guam, right? I had 3 acts. We packed the house in Guam. Now they're calling us for Japan. Japan was a big, don't change the name. You know what I mean? Do quality stuff and keep pushing at it. Changing the name is not, if your stuff sucks, it sucks. If people ain't feeling it, they ain't feeling it. Has nothing to do with the name.
Yeah, so outside of the U.S., what countries, you just named Guam and Japan, what other countries do you think are still embracing freestyle and throwing big events for freestyle?
You hang out with the king himself, right? So Brazil is hot.
Yes.
How big is Brazil?
Huge. St. Paul, yeah.
Okay. Right. Sao Paulo, Sao Luis, Colombia, Bolivia, Commonwealth, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. We got to get to Cuba. We almost did.
Hey, it's DJ Sama, and you gotta be there. Another legendary Fuera de Control Freestyle Friday party at Cafe 27 in Weston. I'll be rocking your favorite classics all night in the mix. It all goes down Friday, the biggest 80s and 90s high school reunion party.
Let your body rock.
At Cafe 27, where there's never a cover all night and free parking. Doors open at 8 p.m. Arranquen pa' allá. Cafe 27, 4690 U.S. Highway 27 in Weston. We'll see you there.
Trump.
Yeah, Cuba's a big one. Cuba's a big one. I'm Cuban, so not that it matters, but a lot of my family members and my friends, they tell me, man, we used to listen to you with a FM radio that had aluminum foil wrapped around the wire. We would pick up Power 96, and that's how we learned about freestyle music back in the day.
Yeah, it's all over the place, man.
Yeah,
the Asian markets, man, they love it. Angel won the Tokyo Music Fest. Lisette won a Grammy in Japan, a Grammy. There's a girl that actually remade Show Me in Japanese. Angel actually performed with her. Canada. I just booked a big concert in Canada. We do a lot of Canada. So you as a promoter, I mean, you're really moving and shaking. Do you see a lot of which is getting more attention? The clubs, the casinos, the restaurants, the festivals, the city events, the private parties, the cruises. What's really like popping? Really, I mean, all the above. Like, so the big venues, because they're very expensive to put together, we don't have too many of them, but we have enough to work all year long, right? Between the Alan Beck Freestyle Explosion, the Bobby D Freestyle Festival, Mike Diaz was doing, he kind of took a little bit of break. Who else is doing a big one? Then the stuff in New York that like Brian Rosenberg is doing, right? So you have those are pretty big arenas, right? Private parties is what I love about freestyle. We can all do private parties. People, I hear, I don't do that's kind of below me. That ain't below nobody.
No way.
Listen, number one, private parties, sometimes they pay more. Right?
Yeah. Why would you shun that?
I got a whole article I wrote about that, and I Angel loves doing the private events.
Yeah.
But she loves to perform, period.
Yeah. I think freestyle artists, not only freestyle artists, old school artists in general, because they're not technology savvy, are missing bags in all kinds of areas, right? They're missing bags where they should be collecting their fans' email address so that they can go ahead and build a fan funnel and sell them everything under the sun, listening parties. There's a lot of freestyle fans, like you just said, abroad that would love to see a pay-per-view with their favorite artist, and they would pay for it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a bag you're missing, a VIP bundle that, you could send personal messages and make money that way. You could, bundle up some merch with some autograph signatures. You could get really creative when it comes to serving your fans and giving them merch and opportunities to buy stuff.
But you mentioned something, a lot of them are not tech savvy. They come from a time when basically that's why they still kind of look at traditional radio. Some of them still chase it. And I'm like, why? I don't even own it. I don't think I own a radio. I don't have a radio. I haven't listened. I don't turn the radio on in my car.
I don't, I'm really playing freestyle anyway.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, So a lot of people come from that old era of putting the records out. Hopefully it gets picked up. I'm really, really heavy on using technology, on using social media. Like people say, yeah, what can I do? I get that all the time. Latif, I need help. I need a break. Bro, you got Facebook, YouTube, you got this. The problem is you don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
The hustle is hard.
Well, you got to get creative. You got to decide what can you create so that somebody will take a credit card and buy. Okay, let's start with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, figure out what you can sell, or figure out what kind of mentorship program you can put together. There's another one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? With all the experience that you got, why don't you put out a book?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you start a YouTube channel and show people long-form content so that you can establish authority and empathy for what you do?
Right.
Hello? That's what I'm doing.
Yep. I got 14 books out.
I'm consulting nightclubs on how to throw old school parties and throwback events and high school reunions and all kinds of stuff.
But those are people who are not really in tune to doing that. I know all the aspects of it. If you follow me, you'll see I'm pretty active. I stay active. My social medias are full. Forget about how many the views and the likes and that. I could die today and my stuff still.
Engagement, and having real followers.
Yeah,
right.
That's it. Building a solid followership. That's definitely key. I tell people all the time. I say, you got social media. It's a free platform. The playing field has leveled. You just got to do the work. You got to be willing to get up. Create the content. People say, oh, I create this content. I got 3 likes. Well, then do it again and again and again and again. And that's how you got to do it. I got 14 books. I don't have not one number 1 seller. So why do I keep spending all this time? Writing is not easy. I don't use AI to write. I write,
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. So why do I keep going? And that's the whole mentality what people have to have is put your content, create something, and don't look at the numbers. Just keep creating, keep putting this stuff out there.
That's right.
Build your following, build your lawyer. Your lawyer
keep
following.
Creating and make things that you create a lot of value for people, and they'll eventually buy it. But you have to make offers too. You can't just expect people, to gravitate to you if you're not making offers. So what mistakes do promoters still make when booking freestyle artists?
I'll tell you, one of the biggest mistakes that promoters make is they book freestyle as a fan. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Of course I do.
Okay.
They're instead of looking at the ecosystem of what's going on in their playing field and what would generate the numbers that they're looking for, I like so and so they should do good. No, it's not about, you got to do the homework.
Yeah.
And find out, how good did they do the last time they were in your town, so on and so forth.
Yeah, they end up being the only fan bringing those artists in because they're a fan. And a lot of times you'll get that. So if you book somebody in Texas and they're normally from New York, the New York fan base is different than the Texas fan base, right? So now they come to Texas, and not to take away from my New York artists, because I book them all and I love them all, but if a new promoter's coming in, there's some artists I would not recommend to start off with because you're going to take a hit. And sometimes the artists that they want are a lot more money, which means as an agent, I make a lot more money, right? And I will still dwindle it down to a smaller lineup just to get them going because I want them to win. If they win, we could keep it going. The minute a promoter takes a hit, they're gone. You know how many promoters I've seen come and go that have gone, I want this one. I'm like, okay, that's 100 G's like right there. Yeah, but I got it. I'm like, I understand you got it, but let me talk to, no, I know what I'm doing. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. And sometimes the bad part is they won't listen to me. And my intentions are genuine. You're not going to call me, and every time you call me, I'm trying to place my acts. Because sometimes my acts aren't where you need to. I can't pitch you a cover girls every time because sometimes the cover girls ain't right because you're just starting out and you really don't have the chops, or your venue might be too small, so you're not going to really turn it over. So there's reason, promoters are always going to ask for the ones they love the most, which is always going to be the heavy hitters. So, well, who do you want on your line? Oh, well, this is what I'm thinking. I want to do Stevie, Lisa, Expose, cover girls in Shannon. I'm like, okay, how big is your place? It holds almost 1,000 people. I'm like, yeah, buddy.
That's a lot of ammunition for 1,000.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not going to make your money back. Not only that, it's overkill. And You it's just not going to work.
Yeah. So it's just safe to say, let me give you a scenario and you tell me what it should look like, right? All right. So I got a 2,000 seater. I got a $50,000 budget. I'm booking what $50,000 can buy me, right? You're going to advise me what profitability, if I sell out, should I be looking at?
It depends on what stage of your career. Now, if you're just starting off, don't look for a lot. Right? Don't look for
maybe a 20 or 30%.
Might even be less than that.
ROI?
Yeah, exactly. It might be break even and learn what you're doing without taking a hit.
Yeah, but if you're seasoned, what? Now let's talk about a seasoned promoter.
Now, so now with a season, so one of the things that I get from a lot of like newer promoters is they'll call me and they'll say, Latif, I want Lil Suzy. How many people you think she could draw? That's a bad question.
It is.
Okay,
it is.
Because Suzy,
there's no guarantees, first of all, but go ahead.
They already established themselves.
Yeah.
I've done houses with all these acts that were sold out, and I've also done houses that did bad. Why? Is it the artist's fault? We already did it. They already got the hits. Now the promoter comes into play. Where's that level? Where's that skill level at, right? See, a skilled promoter can charge. He knows how to charge. He knows, hey, I could charge $100 at the door. Okay, what are you charging? I'm doing this, that. You know what I mean? They know how to do just the right. I sit down and have talks with Alan Beck and even Bobby. Alan Beck more precise because he studies his lineups.
Yeah.
Okay? Bobby goes by quantity. Bobby charge you $100 to get in, but what's this show this weekend? What we got? 18 artists on that lineup? Matt, you can't go wrong. Even if it is $100, you're going to see everybody.
Yeah.
You're going to see everybody. See what I'm saying? That's his mentality of how he makes it work. Now, I don't know what his deals are with the concession, because remember, some of them get concession.
Yeah, get parking.
Some of them have
liquor. Yeah.
You know, some of them get sponsors. We don't know, So a lot of it has to do, with the
back end
and their skill level, what they can charge. If your skill level isn't there, you got to be careful what you charge. Also, if you're doing a house that whenever they bring people in, they normally charge $15, community is accustomed to paying that. That's that number. So now all of a sudden you come in, you want to charge $45. It doesn't make sense to some of these people. Some of the community be like, I'm seeing this one. I went and saw 7 bands and I paid, $10. Now you want $45. Now they have a whole bunch of reasons why they don't want to pay. So you have to also keep in mind of the house and what they used to charging.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. But yeah, pricing the artist is a skill, man.
The Felix Sama Entertainment Business Mindset Success. Hosted by radio veteran, DJ, producer, entrepreneur, Felix Sama. Hear the stories, learn the strategies, build your brand, grow your income, create your legacy. Artists, entrepreneurs, industry leaders. The Felix Sama Podcast, where success leaves clues. Welcome to the show, where culture creates currency.
Well, when you're at like a Hard Rock, then you can command, to put your purse up there. But that's because, first of all, you're at the Hard Rock and you're not going to bring, C acts to the Hard Rock. You're going to bring some A-liners as well.
Yes.
Your Taylor Danes, your Stevie B's, your Lisa Lisas, your TKAs, those are the ones that, have to be headlining the shows.
Right.
And then you bring the rest of the reinforcements. But yeah, that you got to know how to strategically do it. And then you got to find out when was the last time they were in town. You don't want to make it too, you know what I'm saying? Even though there's always a radius clause and all of that. There's a lot of variables that you got to take into consideration.
That's why you get a lot of them, their radiuses are pretty big, some of them do 3 months, 4 months out, 120-mile radius, because they're putting a lot of money. I understand. I don't argue with promoters when it comes to that. When we start doing the smaller places, I keep my contracts at about maybe 60, maybe 90s pushing it. You know what I mean? It depends on what kind of budget they put in and who they're bringing in. And who do I know? Are certain acts really going to work in this area? Or is this it? This is pretty much, they'll probably never come back in, for several years. So I could pretty much base, because I get a lot of them to ask, they consult with me on that. What do you think? So I have to sit there and try to kind of look at all the variables and try to make.
So you in a sense play second promoter to the
I
promoter?
play consultant straight across the board. Whoever wants to listen, I feel
because you want the event to win, right? Especially if one of your acts is going to be on it.
I want it to
and then
win.
if you see something going wrong, you got to be, I don't know how you feel about, you said that you don't listen to radio, but that's besides the point. How you feel? I know promoters that still advertise on radio when they do their freestyle
Yeah, me
show.
too. Pretty much
Alan Beck still does it. Who else? Joe, the guy that's doing the Hard Rock, he still does radio. Matter of fact, I just got him a sweet deal with Power 96 to do a radio buy. So we're looking good with that. So I think, especially if they play classics, FM dials that play classics should definitely help promote a freestyle show.
I think it's good. I think it also legitimizes the event too. Just like a billboard. I'm big on social media advertising because it's very targeted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll go straight to you. So if you're going to spend $60,000, well, I got $60,000, put $30,000 in radio. I don't like to bust people's bubble once they blow it up, right? So if you come to me before you make the investment, I'll give you. But if you say, I just put $60,000 in radio, I'm not going to make you feel bad. I'll be like, well, good luck. But I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like you go.
Save some for ad spend, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Think what you could have done, right? When you could have done some stuff with that money, but they want to do it. Also, if it's for the community, so if you're dealing with like a casino, they want to do billboards and stuff like that. That's important because really dealing with the community. They're not really pulling people from out of state. When we do the stuff like the Toyota Arena, we get people coming from other cities. So sometimes those billboards and stuff like that don't really matter. They need to really go a little wide out there. But I want them to win. It's the only reason why I'm willing to sacrifice my own commissions. If I'm willing to take a lower cut for a successful event, I will do it.
Yeah.
But there's some agents that will sell you whoever you want, and they're gonna make bank because they're not thinking about, well, I like longevity. If you look at any of my promoters, right now I got 28 shows, and I have artists on all 28 right now, currently, right? These are promoters I've known for years. They know I've always taken care of them. I take care of my artists, but I also take care of the promoters. I make sure that they're good. I don't let the artists get over. I don't let nobody get over on anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so far so good. But I want to see them win, man. If they don't win, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do for a living. This is all I know how to do.
Well, I mean, that brings up the question about longevity for freestyle and the fans. What's the timeline? What's left in the tank? You know what I mean? Do we got another 5 years with this thing? Do we got another 10 years? I think it's like Motown. You know what I mean? Like, it'll go
as we die off.
As long as the fans can get in a wheelchair and roll to the damn arena, they're gonna keep. They're gonna keep coming to these shows. I don't think it's anywhere near the end whatsoever.
We do a lot of shows with a lot of the old school Motown guys, and some of them from they're coming in with canes, they're coming in with wheelchairs, and then they're standing up at the mic, the wheelchair, they're standing, and they're no longer, and then they get replaced. So you get a lot of groups, they start getting replaced one by one until that final member. And I just think that's the evolution. I don't have an issue with that. Yeah. Whatever happens. I was told 30 years ago, I remember having a pretty influential human being, person in this business, in this genre, who told me, Latif, get what you can because this shit's going to end in 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think
that was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
that was 30 years ago. And I was pretty new in it, so I thought about it. I said, but I still couldn't go and get whatever I had to get. I enjoyed what I was doing, and I enjoyed the progression. I like to, and I started to see everything build, and I started getting excited all over again, especially now. No,
you should. And you even, after all this book and stuff, that there's another job description that you could have that you haven't even tapped into. You know what I'm saying? You could do a high ticket offer for booking management consulting. You know what I'm saying? That's a high ticket offer that you could offer. That there'll be a ton of people out there that would pay for that.
No, there's a few. I get them, and it's available, and I do get, and I've done several that they pull me to the side, and I'll kind of start. Sometimes it starts with some ads. I'll help them out with the ads, and I consult for the duration of the promotions into that. And it's pretty profitable.
What, are you charging them for that?
Oh yeah. It's not cheap. It's high ticket.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And it's not for everybody. So everybody.
Yeah, put that, I want some land in the Bahamas money away, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So what rap artists do you think work best with freestyle artists? We have like the 69 Boys. Rest in peace. Rob Bass was a perfect counterpart for freestyle shows. Man, it's so sad. When I heard the news, but we won't get into that too much. But I love Rob Bass.
We were really close to him. He was on all the shows with us. So well, I book a lot of JJ Fast, so they're on all our shows. Candyman, I was on the phone with him yesterday.
Love Candyman. I did a remix on one of his singles.
Yeah, he wants to work closer with me. He wants to come on board the Law Entertainment camps. I have Full Force. I got them. I love the brothers. I love them. Of course, recipes by Rob Bass. Sugar Hill Gang always did well.
Tag Team. Let's not forget about Tag Team.
Tag Team, 95 South, 69 Boys, Melly Mel, Scorpio.
We got to get some more bass groups up in there, man. The Gucci Crew, Live Crew.
We do Gucci. 240 and them. We do Gucci. I've booked them a few times. Latrim.
Yes.
Okay, they're starting to do
MC Shy D.
He's on a lot of the Freestyle Explosions with us. Yeah. I mean, we have and I think people, but you know why that was, right? So, and it probably was still happening when you were on the air, where we had one station that was playing everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Like KTU, right? Before everything got divided. Yeah. When KTU was playing, right? You would hear Cover Girls, Rob Bass, Sugar Hill Gang, Stevie B, right?
Yeah.
So
that brings up a good point.
Feel the beat at the ultimate dance and freestyle experience. Friday, August 28th at the legendary Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Performing live dance and freestyle icons Shorty Watley, Fox, Expulse, Trinidad, DVG, 69 Boys, Live, Suzy Sapphire, Voice Infection, No Mercy, Turbo B of Snap, Janice Robinson, Noel, Tony Moran, hosted by DJ Felix Sama. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. The ultimate dance and freestyle experience. Friday, August 28th at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, Florida. For more information, go to DanceNowAmerica.com.
Now, when it comes to DJs and the way they program their nights at nightclubs and maybe even at a concert, the way I do my journeys when I DJ, because it is a journey. It's an evolution of frequency of sounds and whatnot. I don't only play freestyle, but I label my night Freestyle Friday. So the majority of my night is freestyle, right? I start at 8 and from more than likely till about 10:30, 11, you're gonna hear nothing but freestyle, right? So for the first 2-3 hours, I'm only playing freestyle. But then
because we got to go to sleep. That's why.
Yeah, and then I'll transition into some Miami booty music, and then I may transition to a little bit of reggae and hip hop, and then I'll go back to freestyle. Yeah, and then from there, I'll see where the night takes me. It depends on the frequency and what I'm feeling from my crowd.
Yeah,
but some people are like, "Oh, you're calling it Freestyle Friday. Why are you playing hip hop?" Because that's the way we grew up in Miami. We played a little bit of everything at a freestyle night.
Yeah. Just like a freestyle concert, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel fortunate that the term can be used as a platform for so many different artists. We do the shows with Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
Naughty by Nature, right?
They're the Jets. Yeah.
We're not on hip hop shows, but they're on freestyle shows. Yeah, why is that? So we have our audience is a broader audience, man. Our people like a lot of stuff, man. They like rock. They like, you know what I mean? They like rock. They listen to salsa, they bachata, R&B. I mean, really diverse, very diverse community,
Yeah. You've got an artist Shauna that you represent, and
Yes.
I love her. You know, that was one of the freestyle records that we played the most down here in Miami. Miami was "I Want You." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot about that record, but I play it from time to time.
I love Shauna. I've been repping her for a few years, quite a few years. I used to rep her before I called it repping her. I was just a fan. I just thought she was really cool. But yeah, she has a great show and she looks, you seen her, she looks incredible, right? So, but yeah, great artist. And that's more of a poppy, you know, it's a little more poppy than even the freestyle, you know?
Yeah. One thing that I wish freestyle artists, and me and Trinier talked about it the other day, I wish freestyle artists would take more time to take better photos and better videos of their shows and capture some really high resolution video footage so that when it's time to book you and you know what I'm saying, it's easier to book you because you got all this great content, right?
Right. So one of the issues that we have with that, right? So unless it's staged, right, we could do our best with photos because everybody has a camera. So a lot of the artists, a lot of times we have to go back into social media and look for the hashtags and see if anybody has any photos. And a lot of times that's how we find our own photos. Videos are hard because if you look at the concerts, right, that we have, there's no place for you to go to take a video unless you're on the side of the stage. There's really no place to go when you do the arenas, right? Those big houses don't allow us to bring our own crew in. They're really tight, and the promoters too, because they have their own stuff going on too. So
phone's fine. A phone, you know, up-to-date phone is good. The quality is great. You just gotta, you know.
Yeah. It's just the angles. It's hard for us. Sometimes I need a direct angle for the cover girls, and I can't get it. I'm on the side of the stage. I can't leave where I'm at. I don't know those 5,000 people in the front row, so I'm like, I'm not giving them my phone. We try to get them, hey, if anybody has any footage, hashtag it, and then Angel will go in and look for it. You know, and we'll
how's Angel doing, by the way, these days?
She's doing wonderful, man. She's excited. We got this show coming up this weekend. She's psyched, man. She's psyched.
I saw you guys. I looked at your social media. Let me see if I can pop it up real quick here. Let me see here. I think it's on your face. Let's try your Facebook here. Oh,
everything's on my Facebook.
All right, so let's go to Latif Mercado. I think it's this one. Oh no, it's the other.
Yeah, that's my page. That's me.
That's your page? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's my profile. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So let's roll up over here. There's Angel right there.
Drop for this weekend.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna be with Bobby D this weekend. Then you were mentioning something about a Barry Manilow concert. Somebody was on it.
Well, that's April. You remember April from Metropolitan, right on time?
Yeah.
So she's one of my acts also, and I watched that clip. And if you get a chance, watch the clip.
I saw a little bit of it. I saw her come on stage and she was singing a little something. But I like that I see this.
Back,
you know what I mean?
The one that you just passed, go back a little bit. Yeah, so that one right there, that was last weekend. That was in Boston. We sold that place out. That was Kowloon's, very famous Chinese restaurant, right?
Nice.
Very famous in the community, holds a ton of people. They have an outdoor venue. We've done it about 4 times, and we sell it out. We did that with Shannon. So,
nice.
Great.
Look at these lovebirds over here.
Yeah, we take our picture before we leave. We get on the car, head to the airport.
Yeah.
You know?
Who does more romancing in the relationship, you or Angel?
It depends what we want. It depends what we're trying to get. Oh, she need a new pair of boots? Okay. All right. I see this new gadget I need. That was the one right there, the one that we just did in Kowloon's. They made me put the word completely because they couldn't legally bring not even one person in. So, and those are just clips from the newsletter. And if you go up, so right there, that's Vegas. And that was I was for Alan Beck, and that was incredible. That was an incredible show, but they're always incredible shows.
Yeah, so you stay current, man. You know, you promoting your magazine. You know, you got you and wifey, you know, posted up on some of the stuff.
Yeah, whenever you see those in the car, we're heading to the airport to go do a show. So just another way of promoting the show and letting people know.
Yeah, man.
We're on the case, man. We wanna see the house packed. I want my promoters to win. I want them to win big.
You got to be, man. And speaking of that, so we got this, as I mentioned before, August 28th. It's at the Hard Rock, the ultimate dance and freestyle experience. I mean, everybody and their mama is on the lineup. We got Expose, Jody Watley, Samantha Fox, Sapphire, Timmy T, Trinier, Turbo of Snap, Noel, 69 Boys, No Mercy, Janice Robinson, my girl, Voice and Fashion, Tony Moran, Lime is on the lineup, but this is an older flyer. But my girl, Joy, which I'll be interviewing in a couple of weeks, she's on the lineup. So listen, man, this thing is selling out, y'all. Get your tickets. It's going down August 28th at the Hard Rock Hollywood. The ultimate dance and freestyle experience. We want to see you there. So a shameless little plug right there. All right, so how do you get fans to care about a new record? So let's say a freestyle artist just came out with a new record. First of all, should they perform it at one of their freestyle shows?
Yeah, I think, if you're going to put a record out, definitely perform it. I think you should perform it wherever you can perform it. We don't have too much. A song doesn't have that long of a life, so you got to give it everything you got. If you follow the Freestyle Blast newsletter, there's a segment in the back that used to be called the Freestyle Blast 3, right? We changed it to the Blast Off, right? And what I do with that, we have DJ Wonder Weekend. What he does is every month, he finds 3 brand new songs from a freestyle artist, right? Could be a new artist, could be an established artist, right? And he sends them to me, and we put them together, and we set up a poll that goes at the bottom of the newsletter. And the poll is set for 7 days. I call it the Blast Off. And though people look at it as, we're trying to compete who likes the song the most, that's not the game. The game is to try to see who can push the hell out of their stuff the most, right? So, and what I'm trying to encourage artists is like, I'm giving you 7 days. Doesn't mean that when the 7 days is over, you stop. You keep going. But I'm going to give you 7 days. I'm sending you to all my people. We're going to promote you. We're going to push it. And not only that, at the end of every 12 issues of my newsletter, I create a paperback book, right? So like this is the yearbook 24. Here's the yearbook 22. Here's the yearbook 23. And this year we did 25, right? So these are all the issues, full color. These are all the issues, right? So now you're in the book as well, which means that this stuff will outlive me. I'll be dead and these books will still be out circulation, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
So we're doing everything we can to help them. Now, whoever gets the most wins on the polls, we keep them on for the following month and we add 2 new ones.
That's
and
cool.
We do the same thing. And I also have attached to that a free PDF download of a 7-day step-by-step just ideas that I'm sharing with them for free on how to promote their stuff. Okay, day 1, do a live. Day 2, post this. Day 3, tell us about your song. Day 4, perform it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to tell people.
Day 6, capture emails. Day 7, build a fan funnel. Day 8, start to work on your merge.
Yep. It's
Day 9, learn Shopify.
Let's go!
I'm DJ Sama, a legendary South Florida DJ, producer, and feel-good specialist. From South Beach to Coconut Grove to Fort Lauderdale, I've played at the biggest venues, worked with major artists, and built unforgettable nights for years. Now, I'm bringing that experience to venues that need to turn things around quickly. This is Pack the Place.
Let's go! Let's go! Back the place, back the place, back the place, back the place. Feel bass in your face. Back the place, back the place. Lights up, whole room shake. Hands up, no space. Back the place, back the place. Let's go, let's go. Let's go.
I got a high school buddy of mine. His name is Julio, and he happens to own this spot called Cafe 27. It's right off of Sheridan and US Highway 27. And, he's been talking to me about possibly doing a night there. Maybe like a once a month old school night.
They're cooked all right.
How do you turn a biker bar into a freestyle destination? Then I came back on Friday night, and man, it was quiet. I'm talking crickets. The room was empty. The system looked real rough. This spot needs a full transformation.
Meeting the famous Felix Sama. I can't wait to have this party. Freestyle Friday at Cafe 27.
You know what? I'm super confident in your abilities. I know you're confident in my abilities. What do I always tell you whenever we go into a venue? All you got to do is bring me the people, and they're going to be repeat customers.
Absolutely.
All the time. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not working now. And once that music started knocking, you could feel the shift. The energy changed. Needless to say, the booty shakers were in the place. At the start, I felt a little pressure. Anytime you build something from the ground up, you feel that. You want the people to show up. You want the concept to connect. You want the room to catch fire.
I'm turning 57. I'm having so much fun. I came from Orlando to enjoy DJ Sama.
What used to be a dead Friday with 4 people turned out into over 500 people in the building. That was not luck. That was strategy. That was vision. That was execution. I'm DJ Sama, and when I step into your venue, I'm not there to play small. I'm there to read the room, fix the weak spots, build the right vibe, and pack the place.
Back the place, back the place, back the place, back the place. Feel bass in your face. Back the place, back the place.
It's all in there. It's all in there, you know? And what I'm trying to do is because, you know, now it's connected to my Spotify, right? It's a Freestyle Blast Spotify. And if you go into the Spotify, you scroll down, you'll see I have, I don't know, what is it? 78 songs that have been featured on that blast. Yet none of them are really banging right now. Why? Because people gave up. They think they could put the record out, leave it alone. Hey, if I make it, they'll come. They're not going to come.
No,
they're not going to come.
Bro,
The day you stop selling is the day they stop buying.
Yeah. To be realistic with you, man, if you ain't got promotional dollars to promote the record, there's too many side attractions. No one's going to give it a lot of attention. So just look at your releases as a business card to keep promoting your brand. And then find other ways like building your email list and selling direct to consumer, to your fans is the best way you're going to be able to get somebody to pull out their credit card and pay for something you got going on. I preach it all the time, and I'm not ever going to stop.
I have one of the biggest email lists out in Freestyle to this day. All right. One of the biggest. Been building it. Ask Stevie. Stevie remembers since the early 90s. Right.
Great.
Most people didn't have an email when I started. Right. And I rehashed that email list many times. The Freestyle Blast.
It's money.
Blast has 6,000, but when I put those out, I didn't want none of those others. I wanted a brand new base. So those 6,000 people that are on there, I got those emails, right? Got yours. You're a subscriber. Got your email in there too, right? I have a shop. Have you seen my Shopify store?
No, I haven't seen it.
StyleandFree.store. StyleandFreeApparel.
Yeah, well, we're gonna tag all your links because you're gonna give me all your links, and it's gonna be on this podcast.
I'm agreeing with you. You know, that store has over 300 merch, t-shirts and stuff that are mine. You know, so but the thing is, I don't hit people over the head. I don't hit them over the head with sales. What I do is, and I get sales every day, is I stay in people's face. Let them, you know, there's a thing, it's called know, like, trust, right? I want to get to know you. If I get to know you, I'm going to determine whether I like you or I don't like you. If I like you, now I got to trust you. And if I trust you with my credit card. I trust everything you say. And if you're going to sell me something, I trust you that you're going to lead me in the right way. So my thing is not to sell anybody anything direct. That's me. Everybody's different. I want to build relational trust, and then you can find me.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my mindset too. You have to create value before anybody can trust you. Yep. And long form content is the way to get to that trust.
Newsletter.
People got to spend hours and hours with you in order to pull out their credit card and want to buy something from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's
they gotta feel, it's like this, right? It's like let's say you get into, and I tell this to a lot of the artists, right? Let's say you get into one of these series that go on, you know, one of these Netflix series, right? And you know, okay, the new series comes, every week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Right? Yep. You could bet on it. You know what's gonna happen. You could arrange your work schedule around it, your dinner around it, your activities around, because you know it's gonna come. But if all of a sudden you go to sit down and say, oh wait, it came out at 6, pulls you off. And then next week, oh, it's coming up at 11. Oh wait, now it's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday, right? You can't do that, right? That's how these people.
Consistency is key.
You gotta keep that. Consistency is key. In 5 years, my newsletter has been out 5 years, 54 issues. Comes out by noon on the 15th of every single month.
Yeah, you're being consistent with it, man. That's the way to do it.
But you know why? Because I don't rely on nobody. Only rely on me.
Yep. That's the way to do it. All right, so let's fire off some questions. Let's have some fun. Answer them as quick as possible. You ready? Here we go. Who wins the sexiest freestyle female award?
My wife.
Boy, you know you better have said that.
Wife. Hey, Was that fast?
Who wins the sexiest freestyle male award?
Damn. I say the king, man. I say Stevie B. He goes up there, opens his shirt. What? You kidding me? Can't get no sexier than that.
All right, so in an MMA fight, speaking of Stevie B, in an MMA fight, who you got? You got Stevie B or do you have George Lamont?
Hey, I'm sorry, Stevie, man, but I know George. I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a tassel, but I think George might end up on top, man.
Stevie ain't gonna like that.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Stevie's a lover. I think he's more of a lover, but I think
it might be a tie. It might be a tie.
Okay, you got your opinion. Sorry, Stevie.
If Stevie remembers some of his old school, street fighting, you know what I mean? All right, how about if it was a Coral or K7?
No, man. Might have the upper hand. Hey, listen, Coral might have the upper hand.
Yeah, Coral owes me. He owes me a game of
why it's hard?
racquetball.
Because we're older now, right? So we're a lot older. It's like, I question everything. Like, I'm like, you know what? You
never know what kind of ailment somebody has.
So I'm just going off the top of my head. Now you're going to get everybody pissed off at me. Yo, love.
I know. That's the object.
To me.
All right, so it's karaoke night. What freestyle song are you singing?
Diamond Girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that. Shouts to my boy John Menace. I just remixed Diamond Girl. I had him come back into the studio and we redid it. We did a house version to it. We did a breakbeat version. We did a new disco mix to it. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I just booked him on a couple of shows. I think 2
shows. We're working on a new track now. He's incredible. Anyway, you have to write a relevant banging top 40 record today. Who are you taking into the studio with you, Cynthia or Sapphire?
I would say Sapphire. The reason being is that I was just always a fan of just her tone and her voice. I just like it. Love Cynthia. I work with her all the time. I work with her more than I work with Sapphire. But there's just a thing. It's not one as bad. It's like apples and oranges. But there's something about Sapphire's tone, that voice that really moves me.
Hey, it's DJ Sama, and you gotta be there. Another legendary Fuera de Control Freestyle Friday party at Cafe 27 in Weston. I'll be rocking your favorite classics all night in the mix. It all goes down Friday, the biggest 80s and 90s high school reunion party. So let your body rock. At Cafe 27, where there's never a cover all night and free parking. Doors open at 8 p.m. Arranquen pa' allá. Cafe 27, 4690 US Highway 27 in Weston. We'll see you there.
Yeah. She's on the bill for August 28th, so we're really excited. If freestyle, now this is where you're going to get in trouble.
Man, I'm already in trouble. You get me?
You are.
I work with all these people. I'm screwed.
If freestyle had a Mount Rushmore, what 4 faces would be on it?
Okay, so I'm gonna go from a standpoint of
It could be male or female. Don't have to be one or the other.
Okay. Wow, there's a lot, man. So okay.
It's 4 faces, bro. Just pick 4. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Let me see. I'm gonna go Stevie. I'm gonna go Shannon. I'm gonna go. I gotta go with my wife. I really do. I gotta go with my wife. She's everywhere. And believe it or not, Lil Suzy.
Wow. Okay.
Lil Suzy. People cannot really.
You kept it real with the camp. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta be real with the camp because I'm picky of who I represent, and I have to believe in my own. Stevie, because Stevie legitimizes these events. I'm sorry, people can say what they want to say. He legitimizes. I like when Stevie's on a build that I'm on. I like it.
He brings the culture together, man. He really does.
I believe that. You know what I mean? And that's my, and I'm talking about people who, like, no matter where I go, to Miami, Texas, Chicago, New Mexico, Canada, it doesn't matter. Those 4 are very well liked, and I could book with all of them.
Yeah, speaking of Stevie, guys, show love. We just remixed Spring Love. It's out on his Spotify. You guys can stream it. Be sure to check it out. There's some banging remixes there that you're going to absolutely love. Be honest, what is the most over-requested freestyle song of all time?
Over-requested freestyle song. Back to the Camp. Take Me in Your Arms.
Take Me in Your Arms. I play it every time I spin. I play that.
I mean, it sounds biased. Yeah. It sounds biased, but I get the most calls here as an agent for that young lady than anybody else. I can sit here, my phone could ring. I could look at the number and say, I don't recognize the number. And I could look at you and say, I bet you it's a call for Suzy. I'll pick up and say, yeah, how you doing? I'm calling about Lil Suzy. Like clockwork.
Yeah. And she doesn't do a lot of shows, right? Or
right now she's taking a break. She's been on the road since she was 5, taking a break. She didn't retire. I could take her today and book her for the rest of the year, every single week. The money's been offered has been tremendous. It's not the money for her, Right now she's taking a break and she's done well with me, so I never stress her out. But yeah, people could look at it as the way they look, but yeah, she's very highly, highly in demand. Stevie calls me once a month about her. Yo, when we're gonna bring her out? Alan, Bobby, and you name them. Everybody,
What is Latif building next? What's your next big thing?
The next big thing. So I have a podcast set up that has been sitting here for about a year, totally set up. Top of the line microphones and boards, table, everything. But life has just been so busy. And it's supposed to be a podcast that my wife and I are doing. So I have that. So I love the podcast situations. And then I have another podcast that I'm working on. That one's already pretty much almost in action. It's called The Promoter's Playbook. And what it is, it's me talking to my promoters and basically talking to them about what they do and how they do it, and hoping that they can give some valuable information to others who want to come in, because we need that. We can't just rely on the ones that are working now. We need new people. And I'm always advocating about new promoters coming on board. People say, you're going to oversaturate the market. No, I'm not.
There's no lack of, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And people, I refuse to listen to scarcity, okay? Yep. There is no scarcity, okay? Yes. God says be fruitful and have dominion, okay? Yes. That means that everyone is a king and they've got their own domain, okay? Yes. There's no scarcity. So stop thinking that way. That's your own mind playing tricks with you. I never bought into that, and I never believed that.
Yeah.
That's why I do 5, Freestyle Fridays, you know what I'm saying? And they're packed with people, because there is no scarcity. Miami's too little. There's not enough people. There's always enough people to go around. You just got to play the right music.
Those are people that were used to putting out a show and everybody came. Now you got competition. So now you got to up your game. You got to up your game.
You got to up your game and do it the right way.
I hear that all the time. Oh, well, it's oversaturated. It's now oversaturated. It is now oversaturated. So come up with something different. Like, why it's got to be the same thing? You put a concert, you get people on stage, do something different, Do something different. Do you remember the Freestyle Music Awards, which I produced in 2008?
Yeah, I remember.
You remember?
That.
In Miami-Dade at the Night Center. What's it called?
Mm-hmm. James L. Night Center.
The James L. Night Center. Okay, I did the biggest. It was $1 million budget. A carpet, 16 white limousines, 32 police escorts. And
that could happen again.
Yeah, and I made no money on it because I didn't want to make money. I wanted every penny to be put in. We had the VIP lounge was in a tent with chandeliers and plush. I wanted everybody had tuxedos. It was a dope event, you know what I mean? And it was me trying to have our genre challenge each other. I didn't want people to go up there and do the same show. Angel wasn't allowed to do a cover girl show. Suzy wasn't allowed to go and sing Take Me in Your Arms. I had Kay do something different. Coral did something different. I had everybody up there. I said, challenge us. I seen your show 1 million times. Give me something else. I'm gonna let you go and show me what you can do. Give me a new record, perform it differently. You brought a whole bed on stage, tied some dude up on the bed, and basically killed him in the middle of the song. Suzy sang "I Still Love You" in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, they came up with a 50-piece marching band.
Nice.
50-piece from the local high school.
Nice.
This was the stuff I was trying to do. Unfortunately, people always think somebody's in for it. There's another motive. I didn't have a motive. My motive was for this genre, as it always has been to this day. Yeah. I do stuff for people and for this genre and make no money for certain things and sacrifice the time that I take to pay the bills to do these other things. I don't make money off the newsletter, I do it because I think the information is their value. I'm taking the same stuff that I'm learning as I go along. I'm sharing them. I'm like, bro, but read it. The problem is our people don't want to read it. That's why I did a newsletter. So it's they're a little 6 minutes. How fast did it take you to read that article?
I read it in a few minutes. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't want to bore you, and I want to try to, I want to try to put stuff in there and it makes sense, and it has some sort of value, just to try to strike up a conversation.
Yeah, no, you're archiving history as it's going. You know what I'm saying? So that's super cool. Now, I don't know anybody else that's doing that. So you're kind of like the gatekeeper with that, bro. So keep it going, man.
Yeah, I want to take I want especially all my podcast people, right? I want them to take and find some of the articles and talk about you have to mention me, you know? I got a couple that do it now, and they'll bring from I got this on this month on a Freestyle Blast. I found this article that was like, sometimes they'll go back. Issue 18 had this topic that, you know, I just want to talk about, and it's cool. And I just think it's
a reference point. It's a reference point, which is super cool. Hey, listen, you know, me and Stevie had our Freestyling with Stevie B. I did over 80 episodes with Stevie.
Wow.
Talk about being, you know,
wow.
Because I come from radio. I've been in radio my whole life, you know, over 35 years. I've been a program director. I've been a music director. I've been an on-air personality. I've done Latin radio. I've done English radio. I've worked for Telemundo. I've had 2 TV shows. So, you know what I'm saying? I've done a lot. So I'm very disciplined when it comes to media. Like that, this is my thing. And that's why I reignited this, because I want to do it. Obviously, it's not the Stevie B show. It's the Felix Sama podcast. But what I want to put out there is the business of music, because I feel that a lot of people are starving out there. They're leaving money on the table unnecessarily, and they just need the right pathway. Maybe it'll spark something in their mind, and they're like, you know what? Wow, he brought on this guest, or Sama saying something that makes sense. It resonates with me. Let me try to get a bag doing this. You know what I'm saying? I want to spark people to think.
And you know, the thing is, you and I are on the same path. Like we're looking at the same target, but we kind of approach it differently. Right?
Yeah.
So, because you're like, you know, have that high end ticket. You ask for the sale. You know, that which is a tactic, which is something people do, which is cool. I'm a little different. I'm build the fan base, and eventually they'll see the stuff that you have. Because you think about it like this, right? If you find someone online that all of a sudden you resonate with, what do you usually do? I'll tell you what I do. I want to find their other things. I want to see what else they got. I want to go into their Instagram. Do they have a YouTube? And then if they have a website, I want to check out their website, and I might buy something because I'm really feeling them. And sometimes I go in there and I buy everything they have, you know? Yeah. If you look for me, if you like me and what I do, you will not run out of information. You won't go on my pages and find me taking pictures of food. You won't take pictures and see a picture of me laying in bed or sick or talking about my headache or, you know, somebody. You won't see that. You won't see me put pictures of, you know, family members dead.
I've never been a fan of hospital pictures.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of that.
So
I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that does it.
No, that's fine. That's But I don't use mine. I don't use mine for that. So if you go on to any of my pages and you scroll, there's plenty of content. So if you become a fan of me, there's plenty of content to really grasp of what I do, what I'm trying to do, and really kind of get to realize that, no, I'm not in this. Yeah, I could sell all kinds of stuff. I make a lot of money doing bookings. I don't need to really sell. People still buy my stuff. Every day I go on my Shopify, I sold 2-3 shirts. Not a lot, because I'm not banging people over the head, but they find me.
Yeah.
And they find it. And I'm like, click, click. I'm sitting here and it's cha-ching. Oh, okay. Nice.
Same here.
You know?
Same here. Yeah.
I go on Amazon right now. I could go in there. There's people that buy my books every single day. Not a lot of them, but they find me. And that's the key. And that's what the artists got to do.
Yes.
They got to put enough content where you got to build your fan base. And it's a timely process.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow. The music misses the crowd. The lighting feels way flat. The promotion is weak. The room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room. We identify the right audience. We build stronger theme nights. We bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer. They spend more. They come back, and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
Yes.
Bro, you've been building your fan base. I know people in Texas that know you.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I brought you up.
Because I had a passion for it, right?
Yeah.
And I turned it into an ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm still building it, right?
Yeah.
I'm still building it. I'm still, figuring out of how I want to present, what kind of offers I want to put out there when it comes to helping clubs do these old school theme nights. That's really one of the things that I'm passionate about, because sometimes it gets done the wrong way and I want it to get done the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to be.
I tell promoters all the time, I'm like, listen.
And it's something I love to do, man. I really do.
Promoters are free to call me, consult with me, ask me prices, ask me whatever.
That's super dope. Yeah.
And not even book from me if they don't want. See, I don't want to force you to eat in my kitchen if you don't like my food.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that about you because I called you not too long ago and I told you, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing a show in Jersey. And me and you went back and forth and we kind of put together a wish list of a lineup. And then I told you, there's some variables there that we need to discuss. And we discussed them. And at the end of the day, we said, you know what? It's not worth it.
Right.
For whatever reason, another promoter had another show. I think that was the scenario, but it just wasn't worth it. And we took it off the table and that was that.
I deal with a lot of people like that. And with no strings, I tell them, call me, text me. I consult with them, all the time. I'm an agent. I'm a legitimate agent, meaning I don't have to add my money on top of fees. So if an actor's charging you X amount of money, going through me isn't going to cost you more. It's going to cost you the same. The difference is now you got me on your team.
Yeah.
And I got your back, bro.
Yeah.
I got your back. The artists won't mess with you. Other promoters won't mess with you. I know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I put you on my system and I promote as best as I can, right? I just chip in and I always tell my artists, make sure you do a drop. That's a big thing in my camp. Do the drop. I need to drop.
Yeah, that's the other thing, making sure that you promote whatever event that is on your personal pages. Don't be like, I don't got time and then.
A lot of artists don't want to do it. It's to them, and I'll tell you why. Do you know why they want to do it? Because they owe 7 more drops, right? So if they do yours, then everybody else is going to see it and say, hey, man, I asked you to do that 4 months ago and you didn't do it. You just got to
start getting in the practice of doing it so that won't ever happen. Yeah.
So go back. I don't know which episode or which issue, but I have an entire article that I wrote about that. It's called Do the Drops. And that I wrote. And some artists are trying to charge. Some artists are trying to charge for drops, And if you see the drops Angel does, that's not a drop. She's not holding the phone and doing a drop. That's a little production there.
Yeah. I don't know about that whole charge and drop. I think that's a little wrong, but
they do. Some of them want to do it. But what it is they don't want to do it. And that limits the amount of people that ask for it. So I have to ask. Sometimes they'll tell me they're live. They want to drop, tell me I charge. This is what I charge. I'm like, and I let them know. Angel, however, will go and do the drop and we do a whole production and she'll memorize. We watch the one that we're doing this weekend. Look at her. Watch the drop. She memorizes every single artist. There's no paper there. She's not reading it. She took 3 days and she memorized it. She goes, and I say, and there's no cut. So you don't see no fast edits. This is straight through. Why? So you can't expect people to take you serious and want to go to these shows if you're not doing it yourself. You gotta show that part in, So I write the prop, I film it, edit it, she remembers. We're a team. We work together. We make it work.
Bro, but there's like apps that you can get that have teleprompter on that, and you could and no one's gonna ever know. She doesn't have to memorize it.
I have
in 3 days.
I have them all on my phone. I have them all on my phone.
Just let her read the teleprompter, bro.
Now she likes it.
Don't make her memorize all that, Latif. Come on, man.
Nah, let me tell you something. Watch. You see, you never watch her drops. You don't watch when she sits there and she forgets her name. She goes, it's cute. It's cute. It shows authenticity. It's real.
I love that because I forget stuff all the time.
Yeah, she memorizes. She can memorize. What's it going to take? Come on, man. This is 10 acts. Come on. You can memorize 10 acts. All you got to do is sit there and edit. Take me a whole day to edit.
It's what I do for a living, so that's not a problem for me. But somebody that doesn't do this for a living, it's a little harder, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I just think it just adds a little something, and we're proud of it when we're done. When we're done, we look at it and we're like, you know what? We did our part. We played. Yeah. And not only that, we raised the stakes, right?
Yeah.
So now everybody else.
So who does the cooking at home? You or Angel?
I don't cook. I do all the eating. She throws down, bro.
You can't even boil a hot dog.
Oh man, I'm bad, man. I'm bad. Yo, my aunt one day asked me to put some hot water on her for some soup, and I forgot about it, and the alarm went off. Hot water. Oh my God. You can't even boil damn water. I'm saying, I'm not there.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I get sidetracked, bro, and I leave something burning. And
I can't.
I go back into the kitchen, and then all you see is smoke, and I'm like,
no, I will burn my house down.
What?
No, she does. She's the cook, and she cooks for a lot of people. We got 5, 6. There's 6 of us in the house.
Ooh, I want to taste her cooking. What's her best meal?
Man, rice and beans, man. Yesterday we had rice and beans and steak. She does. The day before she did chicken parmesan with
Italiano.
Yeah, yep. She'll do Chinese. Want some fried rice? She'll do some shrimp fried rice.
I'm coming over.
She does the enchilada soup. So she goes from Mexican to Puerto Rican.
I love that.
Half my family is Cuban, right? So we got the white rice, black beans, which I love,
Yeah.
So yeah, she throws down. And then
you should know about croquetas. You were like shrimp. I'm like, what?
No, because I wasn't. I don't eat pork. I'm not a pork eater, right? So, and I'm real funny with all meats, believe it or not. So I love shrimp. I love fish. So the ones I used to always get when I had a place that I used to go to called Cubanita. It was right around the corner from my house. They used to have the Cuban sandwiches with the press and everything, and they had the shrimp ones. I used to love them, man. I used to buy like half dozen of them.
They gotta try it. Try it.
Oh yeah, little tiny shrimp.
Hey man, I want to thank you. I'm very grateful, that you took the time out
Always.
to rock with me. I really do appreciate that. You have so much valuable information, that you spit it out in this hour and 20 minutes. And I know a lot of people are going to resonate with a lot of what we talked about.
Stevie's going to be pissed off at me.
It's useful information besides the choices that you made in artistry, but that's going to be funny. That's good conveation for later on and beating you up verbally.
Yeah. I'm going to see him this weekend.
Oh yeah, let everybody know where they could log on to you on one of the social platforms.
Yo, definitely everywhere, any social media at Latif Mercado. Anywhere, I'm always open. My messages are open. And of course, my newsletter, www.freestyleblast.com. Please subscribe. It's free. It drops on the 15th of each and every month. And the information that I just gave you here, it's in there,
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate you, brother. Let Angel know that I want to get an interview with her as well. So
we got it.
Next time. And a couple of the other, lineups that you got.
Just let me know.
As well. We'll knock them out the box. Like, bye. You know how we do it, bro.
Man, you was always good at this, man. You got to keep doing it.
Bro, I appreciate you.
I'll take the love, too.
But it is all love. It is all love.
We vibing, we styling. You my dancing titty.
We moving, we grooving.
You my dancing titty.
We ready, rock steady.
You my dancing titty.
From city to city, let's party.
You my dancing titty.
When you're ready, girl, you start to whine. Looking so sweet like sugar and lime. Baseline dump, body keep time. You the on fire, me love your shine. Glowing like lights on the dance floor beam. You and me, girl, with a new disco dream. No stress, no fuss, just vibes so clean. All we're rocking to the same routine.
We vibing, we styling. You my dancing titty.
We moving, we grooving.
You my dancing titty.
We ready, rock steady.
You my dancing titty.
From city to city, let's party.
You
My dancing
titty.
You my dancing thing.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow, the music misses the crowd, the lighting feels way flat, the promotion is weak, the room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room, we identify the right audience, we build stronger theme nights, we bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer, they spend more, they come back, and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
Calling all fighters and media to Ocean Manor July 8 for the hottest new sport, Smack Fighting Championships. Come be part of the movement.
Sama said knock. Don't call it a comeback, call it pressure with a purpose. I've been working in the dark, not the spotlight looking nervous. Sama on the beat, got the whole room leaning. One hand on the tables, one eye on the ceiling. I move with the rhythm, I talk with the bounce. I walk in the building, they already know the count. 10 toes down, no fear, no